Welcome back, everyone, to the Chiefs Catalyst podcast, designed to provide short, insightful, and informative episodes for the dynamic public safety leaders of today. The Chiefs Catalyst is for those who are looking for ways to streamline their departmental operations and increase efficiency and effectiveness through people, strategies, and technologies. If you like what you hear or want to discuss a topic further, send us an email at catalystpodcast@proton.me. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Chiefs Catalyst podcast. I'm your host, Aiden, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, technology. More specifically, technology in law enforcement and some of the strategic implications for public safety entities considering the implementation of artificial intelligence, AI-based technologies. This research comes from some additional research I did with the Center for Strategic Thinking and Education in Public Safety, part of the FBI Office of Partner Engagement. I'd be happy to share all of my resources in the comments below, or you can contact me for a written product of this. But in short, throughout the course of history, mankind has innovated and created to make life inherently easier, better, and more enjoyable. These innovations have brought about the ability to complete tasks more efficiently and more effectively. Some of these creations were simplistic and slow moving due to culture, resources, or the absence of necessary complementary technology. However, in 2024, we are undergoing a technological revolution with global impact. Law enforcement is experiencing an explosive rate of growth of new and enhanced technologies that are becoming force multipliers by expanding community visibility or alerting officers to the presence of possible offenders. Due to this rapid technological growth, law enforcement is now poised to combat, investigate, and prevent crime better than ever before. As law enforcement is tasked with protecting the public from one of the most disruptive and creative industries in the world, there is immense opportunity to be industry leaders in the implementation of emerging technology. This is not without consequence and comes with a heavy burden of responsibility. The opportunity of being first to succeed is also the opportunity of being first to fail. While a failure in business might mean a loss of revenue or an unsuccessful product launch and result in some personnel changes or process changes, the stakes for public safety and law enforcement specifically are much, much higher. If law enforcement fails to implement emerging technology successfully, they risk life, liberty, and freedom of the constituents they're sworn to protect and defend. One such major emerging technological advancement impacting public safety is the capabilities provided by artificial intelligence, AI, or machine learning, which is the focus of this research. While technology-driven tools used by law enforcement have been around for many years, for example, body-worn cameras or automated license plate readers, automatic vehicle locating technology, the rapid growth and novel uses of artificial intelligence and machine learning in these systems and others has created a category of emerging technologies that is revolutionizing public safety. The software and tools powered by AI and machine learning provide an unfathomable landscape of potential to streamline processes, automate tedious or repetitive tasks, and create an environment where officers can be highly effective in their proactive crime reduction efforts. As noted before, this is not without risk, and therefore, law enforcement leaders are faced with the need to understand how these systems work, the biases they could produce, and the potential negative consequences that could result from improper use, which would have a cascading impact on law enforcement across the United States. The purpose of this research is to assist law enforcement leaders in considering the implementation of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies in the next 1 to 3 years by understanding the need, the potential, and the consequences of utilizing AI and machine learning tools at their agencies. The remainder of this topic will include some review of the current research on AI and machine learning technology, an analysis on the current state of AI and machine learning in law enforcement, proposed solutions for leaders to consider, strategic recommendations for AI and machine learning in the next 1 to 3 years, and some limitations of the current research. In order to provide the strategic recommendations for public safety leadership while implementing AI-based tools operationally, a review of some articles from academia, the private sector, and the public sector was conducted, all of which will be attached to this. To better develop a foundational understanding of artificial intelligence and machine learning, initial research was focused on defining the basic concepts. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the science of engineering of making intelligent machines, as defined by the father of AI, John McCarthy, in 1955. It is a process of engineering that computerizes tasks or functions which humans are better at. AI systems are generated through a process of learning to build foundational rules or guidelines in a system and then provide a framework for the system to make predictions or decisions based on rich test data. These rules and logical sequences are the knowledge base for any AI system on which to learn. Learning is categorized as both machine learning and deep learning. According to Goodfellow, Bengio, and Courville, machine learning is simply extracting patterns from raw data. Machine learning is completed by AI systems through the programming of algorithms. These algorithms are based on logical sequences from the knowledge base, and the outputs are a result of logical processing of the data. For example, automated license plate readers scan to recognize characters, letters, and numbers, and only alert law enforcement if those series of characters match known, stolen, wanted, or hot list vehicles. Think like a basic if-then logical process. Though an issue may arise if a system recognizes characters incorrectly, for example, a 3 being read as an 8. Thus, developers have used machine learning to improve or increase their decision-making capacity through the ingestion of more data. The machine learning process has been further enhanced through the relational process of deep learning to increase the level of accuracy of outputs. Deep learning is a category of machine learning that is similar to a neural network in the human brain. Deep learning uses a hierarchical structure of data with definitions and relationships to make decisions. With these relationships, the more data a deep learning model ingests, the higher the accuracy rate of the outputs. While great strides have been made in the last 10 years using machine learning and deep learning to produce highly accurate outcomes, the knowledge base which AI systems learn from could result in an unintentionally biased outcome. Biased outcomes can be one of the substantial risks for public safety using AI decision-making tools. Research has been conducted by the National Institute of Justice, NIJ, on using AI to address needs in criminal justice. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, has published resources applicable to both public safety and the private sector applications of AI. NIST has also conducted comparative research on facial recognition systems to determine a level of bias that could be produced in a facial recognition result specifically. As law enforcement has a responsibility, and in some states a mandated legal obligation, to ensure that policing practices are not biased in nature, research conducted by Young and others was reviewed on identifying bias in AI and machine learning tools. This type of research is important for decision makers to consider so they do not exacerbate social inequities when selecting AI and machine learning technologies to implement. Despite being invented almost 70 years ago, AI has only experienced exponential growth in the last 10 years. The spark that lit the fire of this growth was the development of an AI program by AlphaGo, a Google project. This program utilized deep learning to study historical matches of the game Go to create a computer opponent that could beat a human. When a program was able to successfully defeat a reigning Go champion using moves that had never before been seen in the 1,000-year history of the game, it was a shot heard around the world by researchers, developers, and computer engineers alike. Since then, leaps and bounds have been made with programs using AI and machine learning affecting every industry on the planet. However, with the horizon of endless possibility, there are also endless scenarios with negative outcomes or impacts of using AI, especially in the public safety sector. Locally, our department has worked to implement technology solutions that complement a proactive, data-driven crime reduction strategy over the last 2 years. For a department with less than 75 sworn officers, these tools have included the use of cloud-based department management and information sharing platforms, AI-powered tools such as flock safety, automated license plate readers, Clearview AI facial recognition. With the prospect of adding more artificial intelligence and machine learning tools on the horizon to increase efficiency of processes and effectiveness of resources deployed, decision makers have the need to understand the benefits, the risk, the potential, and the possible negative impacts on the department prior to bringing new AI systems into day-to-day operations. It's no secret that programs like ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot can make one's life easier, not only for public safety, but extending across every department of a municipality. With these two AI assistants alone, presentations can be generated for meeting notes, formulas or code for SQL queries can be written, and staff can quickly ingest information from AI summaries about new topics of interest expressed by executive leadership in a matter of minutes. In the law enforcement scope, artificial intelligence and machine learning tools can assist with everything from drafting up policies to writing report narratives, transcribing video, record redaction, screening administrative calls, to taking reports by phone and referring them to 911 communications, or notifying a supervisor that an officer might need a wellness check or a mental health day due to the types of recent calls they've been on. These tools can provide contextual and statistical regularity when used as decision-making tools, as they are producing objective results based on the data they're fed. Operationally, AI tools like automated license plate readers can alert patrol officers to the presence of stolen vehicles, vehicles associated with wanted persons, or vehicles that have been hot-listed by an agency due to being related to a crime. Facial recognition tools can parse through millions of photographs and identify matching candidates to develop leads on possible suspects. These each have the potential to directly impact the amount of crime reduced, and the number of cases solved by directing officers towards possible criminal actors. Another unique opportunity for law enforcement has when considering the potential benefits of adding AI and machine learning tools is how it can extend the life of the current workforce. According to the Police Executive Research Forum, law enforcement agencies are recruiting at a slower rate than they are losing members of the profession. Adding tools like AI-assisted drones as first responders, AI-powered ALPRs, or abnormal event alerting in video management systems can help officers police more effectively and efficiently with fewer people on the street. Historically, when officers are critically injured on duty, they may have little choice but to leave the profession due to an inability to pass the necessary fitness tests to return to normal patrol duties. But now, their experience and knowledge can still be leveraged towards crime reduction through the use of AI and machine learning tools. Through drones as first responders and video monitoring tools, officers with physical impairments could still take calls for service and assist field personnel remotely from a real-time crime center, compared to previously only being able to take phone complaints or walk-in reports. This can reduce response time and increase the likelihood of rapid suspect apprehension. Civilian personnel, such as crime analysts or records coordinators, can also benefit from the use of AI and machine learning tools to streamline workflows and save time on routine activities, such as preparing statistical reports, pattern identification recognition, audio transcriptions, or when redacting personally identifiable information from police reports. While AI and machine learning tools have the potential to save public safety agencies time and financial resources as they perform their daily functions, these benefits do not come without risk. Unlike private sector entities who could afford to be on the bleeding edge of innovation, if an AI or machine learning tool is implemented by law enforcement that produces biased outcomes or is used improperly by personnel, it could result in the loss of life or infringe on someone's constitutionally protected rights. In New Mexico, a local agency that uses ALPRs is currently being sued over officers acting erroneously off of a license plate scan, which led to a felony stop. This instance provides the perfect example of over-reliance on an AI-based decision-making tool, as officers in this case did not wait to verify information from the scan compared to the actual license plate of the vehicle. Another critical challenge facing public safety leaders considering implementing artificial intelligence tools is cyber vulnerabilities that may be introduced. According to the DHS, Department of Homeland Security 2024 Homeland Threat Assessment, cyber vulnerabilities are considered a major threat to critical infrastructure on par with domestic terrorism, border, and economic security. As addressed in the National Artificial Intelligence Research and Development Plan of 2023 update, AI systems could be data poisoned, which could lead decision-making outcomes to be manipulated. In OpenAI systems like ChatGPT, uploading sensitive data for review, such as calls for service spreadsheets, could violate CGIS standards, as systems like ChatGPT are continually ingesting and saving user content that is uploaded on the site, according to their own privacy log. The question for public safety leaders is, do the potential benefits of implementing AI and machine learning systems outweigh the risk? And can some of this risk be mitigated prior to implementation through an education, vetting, and training process? In October of 2023, President Biden of the United States issued an executive order on the safe, secure, and trustworthy development of artificial intelligence, which outlined several goals and requirements for developers and software engineers innovating with AI. These guidelines were put forth to attempt to ensure that AI tools being developed are not biased against any person who belongs to a protected class, and to ensure that development took place within the national defense framework to not introduce cyber vulnerabilities and protect U.S. economic interests. Additionally, this executive order established guidelines for creating resources to complement the NIST Risk Management Framework AI 100-1. The AI Risk Management Framework 1.0 is designed to help government leaders with evaluating the risks posed by AI technology and how to manage them. While helpful, chiefs of police and executive leadership rarely have time to parse through these types of resources at length. This being the case, it would greatly benefit law enforcement desiring to implement AI and machine learning technologies to hire specific technological project managers to help evaluate potential tools, manage implementations, and train personnel on use and best practices. Technological project managers should have some type of public safety or law enforcement experience to understand operations, but should not be tasked with other major assignments, such as patrol or investigations. They should be embedded in the department, reporting to an agency leader, and not managed by a separate information technology division. Doing so would remove the burden of this type of role from agency leadership and command staff, for whom it might ordinarily be an ancillary duty, and allow an agency to develop a technological toolkit that complements its crime reduction strategy, rather than randomly picking and choosing software based on a sales pitch, which various supervisors might have to manage during implementation and deployment. For Texas-based public safety agencies, Governor Abbott signed House Bill 2060 into law in 2023, which created the AI Advisory Council. Part of the creation of this council directed all legislative and judicial branches of the state government to conduct an inventory of all automated decision systems in use by their respective agencies and submit the results in a special report. While local municipalities are not mandated to report under this bill, the checklist provided for the inventory contains guidelines that public safety agencies can use to evaluate the what, how, and the why they may select a certain artificial intelligence or machine learning tool. Some of those considerations are as follows. What decisions will the system make or support? Is the solution a final decision solution, or are there humans in the loop in the decision-making process? What are the benefits? Are there cost savings in labor or personnel that can be achieved through implementing the system? How is the data stored? Is it CGIS compliant? Additional considerations from President Biden's executive order on artificial intelligence could be added to this list as well. Two major ones to consider are the data sets in the knowledge base representative of population data and disaggregated in regard to affected populations? Will this increase the agency's efficiency and effectiveness? Leveraging some of these established guidelines at the local level can not only help public safety agencies identify the best fitting AI and machine learning tools, but can also ensure they maintain a best practice approach to implementing new technologies that could face legislative regulation in the future. As public safety leaders consider implementing AI and machine learning technologies in their day-to-day operations, it is important that clear expectations are established for how the desired technology should complement the department operational efforts. This is key when evaluating technology and the success of an implementation. If expectations are not clearly defined, they can change, which might result in a failed or half-done implementation. These expectations should be communicated to the technological project manager or potential technological project manager candidates. Additionally, when identifying candidates for a dedicated technology project manager position, these expectations should serve as a baseline goal for what the position would be expected to help the department achieve in the next 1 to 3 years. While this is a short timeline in relation to long term strategic planning, it is critical for public safety agencies to begin laying the foundation now for technological solutions that have yet to be conceived but will be present in the next 5 to 10 years. If the user base is not familiar with using simple AI powered tools like automated license plate readers during their day to day operations, they will likely have more difficulty with other technological tools in the future. If expectations are not clearly defined, and if a technology project manager duties falls as a side task for other employees, agencies will likely not see the maximum benefit from the AI or the machine learning tool they attempt to use. Further, this perception of not getting the desired return on investment from a technology implementation could negatively impact future technology projects and create distrust from the user base. Some of the research on how practically AI and machine learning technology can increase the efficiency and effectiveness of law enforcement is limited due to some of the newness of tools. This is due in part to the rapid emergence of technology resources and the lack of time needed to evaluate common crime reduction metrics, such as crime rate, clearance rate, officer versus citizen generated calls over time, response times, etc., outside of product beta test sites. Anecdotally, AI-based technologies such as drones as first responder and video abnormality alerting can positively affect response times, but until agencies track metrics such as virtual versus physical response times, it will be difficult to define whether or not an AI or machine learning tool has actually increased efficiency. As every call for service is unique, agencies that implement technologies with the goal of increasing efficiency and effectiveness may only be able to present data on what they did do. For example, Main Street PD had XXX number of crimes in 2024 and took an average of XX hours to complete them, compared to 2025, where there was the same amount of BMV reports, but on average they were able to be handled in fewer hours. Further, there are some technologies that will likely be implemented by public safety agencies in the next 1 to 3 years, whose improper use by a single officer may result in case law that affects all users in the United States and thus impact the benefits public safety can glean from using these technologies. When considering technology software as a service subscriptions, many public safety agencies quickly turn back when reviewing initial and recurring costs. For example, last year, 48 license plate readers and 6 pan-tilt zoom cameras deployed within a real-time crime center decentralized model for our local department was around $165,000 per year. This can be a staggering number at first pass, but when compared to the cost of a sworn officer, approximately $158,000 per new hire as a step 1 officer, including salary, benefits, equipment, and a vehicle, an agency cannot pay a single employee to run as many license plates against NCIC local hot lists, for us approximately 6.5 million scans per month, and then push notifications to on-duty personnel with the rate of accuracy and speed that an AI-powered ALPR system can. Additionally, to expand on the ALPR example, a fixed ALPR system runs 24/7, 365 days a year, which translates to about 8,700 hours per camera times 48 cameras. These cameras don't get sick, hurt, or take time off. Depending on the contract or vendor agreement, the system could be serviced and maintained by the vendor to keep the hardware updated and running at optimal performance. Comparatively, if the same funds for those ALPRs were used to hire a single patrol officer, the department potentially expects the employee to be on duty around 2,000 hours a year, if they only use 2 weeks of PTO for the whole year and they do not get hurt or sick. However, that officer cannot be on the street for the entire time when factoring in things like report writing, time spent at the jail on arrests, mandated training hours, etc. With this in mind, an agency arguably can't afford to not implement something like an ALPR system. As more AI and machine learning technologies are implemented at public safety agencies, future research will be needed to assess the true impact the technology had on crime reduction, responses to resistance, use of force, bias-based policing complaints, and agency proactivity. Selected crimes or citizen generated calls for service, like disorder complaints that did not necessarily result in a criminal offense, can be an evaluative metric for pre and post implementation. The number of complaints, the number of uses of force, and the number of officer generated calls for service can also be compared to historical data to paint a holistic picture of the impact that a technological implementation had on a department's activities. Lastly, a comparison of workmen's compensation costs that were a direct result of on the job injuries could be used to justify further investment in technological systems. In summary, the prospect of implementing AI and machine learning tools into daily public safety operations comes with great potential benefit. Please don't hear that wrong. It comes with great potential benefit. However, these benefits are never without risk. As public safety agencies have a duty to their constituents to provide a high level of service without infringing on constitutionally protected rights, agency leadership should take time to identify their expectations of how technology should benefit the agency, communicate those expectations clearly to specific technological project managers and personnel, and ensure that the systems being implemented are not biased, are secure, keep humans in the loop to verify system decisions that could impact an individual's freedom, and increase an agency's overall efficiency and effectiveness. This proactive adherence to guidelines and recommendations put forth by the President's executive order on artificial intelligence and the Texas governor's bill on AI oversight prior to implementation can assist with maintaining a best practice approach and help mitigate potential issues that may arise from future legislation or regulation on AI tools being used by law enforcement. Through informed and strategic technological implementation over the next 1 to 3 years, department leaders can build a strong foundation for the future of their agency's use of technology. Doing so now can ensure that AI and machine learning technology being implemented is focused on enhancing crime reduction, proactive policing measures, and overall public safety for years to come. Thanks so much for joining us today. I always appreciate your time. If you have questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Either drop them in the comment section or send us an email at catalystpodcast@proton.me. We'll see you next time.